Awesome. Welcome back to Reignite Your Soul podcast. I am so fired up today to have my beautiful friend, Leanna. Oh my gosh, how do I even pronounce your name? Your last name?
Leanna,
Geldart?
you got it, Geldart.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I've never actually pronounced it. I was just Leanna. I like panicked there. That's amazing. Well, I'm so excited to have Leanna here today. We met a couple years ago now through my network marketing company that we're both partnered with. And she has become such an incredible friend of mine. She has such an incredible vision for herself. And the energy that she spreads with the world is just so contagious. So I'm so excited for you guys to be here with us today and share this energy with us because it's incredible. She is a former ECE and she is now currently a lifestyle entrepreneur, and she has a massive passion for kids and helping them to be able to live the life of their dreams. And so super excited to have you here today, Leanna.
I'm so excited to be on this podcast, Laura. I listen to you every day. You were in my ears.
Oh
So
my
to get
gosh.
back on and I'm going to go through the episodes and hear myself.
It's going to be epic. I know. I'm so excited for this. So do you want to share a little bit about like your story? Like, where was it that you grew up? Like, what was it that kind of like, just share your story with us, girlfriend.
Yeah, totally. So my story, I was kind of born and raised in Toronto, but I moved all over the place. Like I've attended 12 different schools. So it's kind
Wow.
of wild.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was born in a not so great family, I guess you would say. Kind of toxic, a lot of like victimization, a lot of drug abuse, things like that, and just not a very. It was loving, but very in a very weird type of way. So moved around a lot. I found it really, really hard to like make friends because I was constantly moving. So I would like
Yeah.
make friends, but I didn't have that strong connection with them because I just thought I was gonna leave anyway. So why bother, right? Um yeah, so I was like I said, moved around. I am the eldest of six, so that's kind of where
Wow.
my passion for kids is I kind of raised my siblings, so I love children so freaking much. Like you said in the beginning, my passion is just to like help them to know that their feelings are so valid and everything that they're going through, their feelings are so valid. And just to show them that, when you feel something, that it is okay and there are ways to cope with it. Because when I was a child, if I had certain ways to deal with things, I know that my life would kind of be in a different way. Not that I regret anything that happened to my life, because I totally believe that everything that happens comes for a reason and everything that happens is for you, not against you. However, I know that having coping mechanisms like breathing, meditation,
Yeah.
things like that, and just speaking to a child like that, just, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine like where I would be now. So that's really where my passion lays. And I have a boxer dog. He's kind of my life. I don't know what else to really say about me. I don't get asked this question a lot, but yeah, definitely that's where my passion lies, is just showing kids that their circumstances does not define their
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. And I love your story too. Like you've been like through so much, and like I can't imagine changing schools like 12 times. Like, whoa. I changed schools when I was in grade 3. We moved up to our cottage and had to shift schools, whole new friend group. It's tough. And I found for me, like it might be different for you. Like I felt like at that point, like I had to like mold into what the people were like at that school so that you don't stand out, so you don't get bullied, so that you don't like gives you that, like I felt like for me it gave me that limiting belief of like if you stand out it's unsafe. And
Oh,
that's something that I've really had to work through, especially stepping into entrepreneurship and stuff like that, like being able to really stand out and shine your light and like be your incredible amazing energetic self, because as a society we literally like flock to pain. When we talk to people, it's like pain connects people, right? But we have this amazing new thing going on with the new wave. Everything in the world is shifting, where I am feeling super empowered to be able to connect through our strengths, connect through the things that make us amazing, because in reality there is no competition. It's all collaboration, and the ones that are on board with this collaboration and being able to up level each other they're going to be the ones that really thrive in this new way. So going back to the time where you were going through all of these like new schools, you said that you found it really hard to actually connect with people and build those strong relationships because that belief of just not being there long enough to actually have them last, so you don't even bother trying. So how did that like kind of affect you, like with like everything that you've been doing, stepping into your own way with entrepreneurship?
Oh my gosh, like you said, it's molded me. The saying misery loves company. I
Yeah.
am totally here to change that, because I was that person that went to this school and I was bullied, very, very much bullied in a lot of my different schools. Bullied for the way I looked, bullied for the way I acted, bullied for being the new girl all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard to just come into new friend groups. And I feel like being an entrepreneur, especially in our company, community, and just like you said, people come together on their strengths. Yes, people start because they're in pain, but coming into this life, people lift you up and they're here to support you. And that's the type of person that I want to be. And that's who I know that I am. And for the longest time, I never really knew what my gift on this earth was. And just recently, when I started getting these messages from people being like, you're a light in my life, like you lift me up, your stories, like all these things. I was like, whoa, I'm just being myself.
Right?
Like, are you kidding me? This is so amazing. And I think that really comes from a vibrational stance.
Yeah.
Is that, that quote, your vibe attracts your tribe. When I heard it before, I was like, yeah, like that's so cliche. But now it's so powerful. It really is true. When you are on a high vibration and you are the strong person, you are the person that's out there being vulnerable and telling your story, people come to you because they want to share theirs. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, to me, that is like the most powerful thing, because being vulnerable is so sexy.
Yeah, it really is. And like being able to like, you nailed it on the head with the community aspect, right? Because when you're in this community where you don't feel safe, you're never going to be able to open up and share that vulnerability with other people. And that's where this community is incredible. Like, I know I wouldn't be where I am. Like, I literally wouldn't be where I am without being able to feel safe, where there's no judgment, no expectation placed on you besides like what's in your heart and your vision. So when you think about like being able to step into that role of being able to actually vulnerably express yourself, whether it was just to one friend, whether it was on your social media, like what was the thing that kind of helped you to get over that?
For me, honestly, a lot of it came from my own self-worth. I had friends when I went to schools. Like, I'm not going to say that I didn't have friends when I was younger, but they were the friends that I would just take all my stuff and just take it all, I never understood boundaries. I never understood anything like that. So it was just like, here, listen to all my crap. And I never really knew how to have that connection. So honestly, like I said before, it was truly the community of the network marketing company that we were a part of that changed that for me. I went to an event, I saw this personal development stuff, and I was like, what the heck is all this about? I was 25 years old. I'm like, okay, so we have to grow ourselves. What in the hell does that mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to have a connection with people. I was so scared to, be at one of these events and you guys were up on, like, I don't know, in front of the stage dancing. And I was the one like, yeah, okay, let me take this picture for you guys because it's just the cutest. And Laura, you grabbed my hand and you were like, no, come in this. And that's when things shifted. When I was like, I am a part of something and it is okay to speak to people about things I'm going through, because the people that I choose today to have in my life, they're not the people that are going to nod their head and be like, it's okay, Leanna, pat on the back, everything's going to, they're the people that are like, what the fuck are you going to do about this?
Yes.
Like, people that are like,
finders, the ones that freaking want to see you go for it.
Right. They're like, what is the solution here? And if it's not solution based, what can we do to freaking figure this out? Yeah. Like, that's what makes me be able to speak to people, is because I know the people that I've chosen to have in my life, that I can speak to them about it.
Exactly. And it's all about choice. I love that. And I don't even remember doing that, Leanna, which is incredible. But like, just so that you do know, when I first like like, because I was always hanging out with Alex and she was like just dancing up a storm. I was literally like, whenever we would go out, like we'd go out dancing, I'd be like, no, I can't go out without having like a couple drinks. Like I need to be a little tipsy. Okay. Like I can't go dance. What do you mean? Like, whoa. And it's like taking those baby steps, right? So I would go out, I'd have a couple glasses of wine, we'd dance. Over time, after being in this community where like they just pull out the greatness of you and just show you that it's okay to not be perfect, to make mistakes, but to also own up to your mistakes and to just be able to keep showing up and just relentlessly moving forward in life, then you freaking grow. And even just something as silly as that, like it seems like so crazy that like dancing in public, right? It's like we start small and then like now, like I would freaking dance in the middle of the street. I actually did when we were in Colombia. Like I did the worm in the street and it was like so fun. And I'm like, people are missing out on living life to the fullest because we're so afraid of judgment. We're so afraid of this. We're so afraid of that. And in reality, it's like all of these fears they're real, but they're just made up constructs in our mind from society, from all of those past beliefs of our childhood. And maybe you want to share a little bit, Leanna, about like what are the ways that you've used to help overcome those limiting beliefs that you've had? Like what were the, like, if you could give like any tools to people?
Yeah. So one of my biggest things is learning about conditioning, because when I was younger, like I said, I didn't grow up in, I don't know, like, I don't want to say loving, but it was a toxic home.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of being played the victim. There was a lot of he said, she said. There was a lot of gossip. And I grew up thinking that was the normal.
Yeah.
So when I learned about reprogramming the brain, oh my God, my entire life changed. Because when you know that you have the power within yourself to change things that have been there for so many years, it's incredible. I don't have my book here, but one book that I would really recommend is called The Untethered Soul. It is amazing. It digs right on into, one thing that I really love from it is this, what's it called? Analogy of sitting there watching TV and you have your best friend beside you and they're constantly talking. And you just want them to be quiet because you're watching TV. That's just like your subconscious mind constantly talking and telling you these things. And you just got to be like, hey, I'm focused on this. Like, and Laura, I love when you say recognize it, feel it, but then, be like, no, I'm not focusing on this because what I focus on expands. Right. And I'm not there. Right. Reconditioning the mind has been a game changer for me. And it really came from me investing in things. Like I invested in you as a personal development coach, life changed. I invested in Tony Robbins' course. Like it really comes into investing in yourself and learning these tools because sometimes you don't have them. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you see somebody who has that greatness, not being scared to reach out and be like, hey, I see this in you and I want it for myself, because it's so true. When you see something in somebody else, it's only because it's within yourself. And that could be in a negative sense or a positive sense. And exactly. I'm really starting to understand that.
Yeah. It's so true. Like we're literally all mirrors of each other. Like when we see something that we hate about the other person, it's really just because it's in us. And when you come to that place and like, or if you love somebody in something or something in somebody else, it's because it is honestly in you. And that's why you're seeing that. And once you can realize it, it's kind of like one of those like, holy shit moments. Cause you're like, I literally can't blame anybody for anything anymore. Like it literally all comes down to us individually, but it's so empowering because like you were saying, like growing up in that environment that's toxic, there's so many people and so many listeners on here that are probably like can relate to that of having people around them right now. And I know this was me too. Like sometimes you have to change that circle, but seeing people for who they are, there is literally no hierarchy of people. They're all humans. Doesn't matter whether they're your parents, your boss, like mentors that you look up to. There is no hierarchy with this. Like we're all human beings. And once, like I found for me, like once I realized that, like with my parents, like I don't have the best relationship with my dad, right? And it's just something that like I have had to accept and be okay with. Right. And just understanding that he's on his own journey and we have the choice of choosing who we choose to surround ourselves with. Because like you were saying, that frequency that we resonate, we are the sum of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with. And as we choose to level up, we will help other people level up, but we'll also have other people being like, yo, where are you going? Come back down to us. Like, where are you going? Like, let's stay down here. We don't want you to grow because it makes me feel like I'm not doing anything with my life. So like, come back down here so that we can kind of like just hang out in this space where there's no growth together. So being able to just put your own self first is freaking massive. And like, I'm so proud of you for doing that and really like changing everything that you've done, because the trajectory that you're on right now and the frequency and the energy that you are radiating, like you're literally radiating it. And you're going to have the most incredible people come into your lives when you start doing that, and also opportunities, and everything is going to start. And like, I love your story because it started hard, but it's like, you know what, like you had this resilience, this flame inside of you that just knew there had to be something more. And it's about listening and tapping into that intuition and doing that. So thinking about your future, Leanna, what is it now? You've been through so much. You've overcame so much. You're literally glowing, you're radiating. Like, what is your vision for the future now?
Oh my gosh. I love this question. Okay. My vision is that I love giving back. Like, contribution has always been a thing that I've loved. Through my school years, volunteer work, I worked at the Durham Aid Society. I worked for a company called We Give Hope. In grade 6, we did a charity. It was the coolest teacher in the world. Like, I love him so much. He actually set up charities within the classroom. So there was groups of people and they all had a charity to like focus on. So mine was the Denise House. And if you don't know what the Denise House is, it's for abused women and children, and a place for them to go and shelter. And my mom actually had to live in a place like this for a really long time. So I want to give back to them. I also, as we said in the beginning, have a massive passion for children. I want to go with what's called the ISA Foundation to Kenya. I want to adopt one of the kids there. I want to go there. I want to work. I want to just have a date. Like, I want to have set my own dates, like set my own hours, not wake up with an alarm clock. If I want to go chase the ocean that day, be able to go. And when it comes to the kids and life coaching, I do want to work remotely. Like, that is a huge thing for mine, but I want to be able to have my own family. Like, I want to be able to have my own family and still be able to work, still be able to have money coming in, but still be able to be there for them. And oh my gosh, this is such a like huge question for me because there's just so many things that I want. Yeah, contribution's massive. I want to have a family, be able to do my own thing in life, chase my dreams, just so much. It's literally endless. It's literally endless. I know that it's endless. But being a life coach for children it was just something that I randomly stumbled upon on Instagram. Like, I didn't even have any idea. I knew I didn't want to be an adult life coach because I don't want to say I don't resonate with adults, but I flow to children.
Yeah.
And I just, like I said in the beginning, I just know that if kids knew what I know now, that they would just have such a different outlook. And the cool thing is that you can't hire a kid. So you've got to have parents that are open to this kind of stuff. And once the parents are open, you know that these children are already getting so much from their home, but they just need that little bit extra. So that's definitely where my vision lays, is just showing children that, you don't have to think the way mom and dad think. You can be your damn self. Like, it's okay to be weird. Like, that is one of my biggest things. Like you were saying, doing the worm in the streets, like, do it. Because you're going to love yourself for it afterwards. People are going to look at you and be like, what the heck? But inside their head, they're going to be like, damn, I wish I could do that.
Right? Yeah.
So that's, my vision is just to, show people that it's okay to be your damn self no matter what, because we all have this journey to go on. We all have this mission that we're on. Some people don't even know what it is, but it's there and it's within your heart.
Yeah. And you're already doing that, Leanna. Like you are literally showing people that they can do that. And your heart for this contribution and doing all these things, I literally have no doubt that you're going to do it. So back to the kids. So like, I love how you said like that openness of parents, right? Because we like got lots of parents that listen to this podcast and people that can do it. I'm not a parent right now. My sister just had Maya, who is a year old, but in reality, there's no manual in being a parent, right? We only know what we know. And we're so blessed right now in this day and age with technology and the opportunities that we have had to be able to start recognizing that we have full control of that reprogramming, just like you said. I never knew about this before. Our parents never knew about this. It's just coming to age right now. So if you're somebody who hasn't done any reprogramming yet, it's okay. Jump on board, start learning about it, because you can literally change your future. If you're somebody who is already into that, then keep going. But if you're a parent, don't feel like you need to know everything. There's no manual. You're doing the best that you can, and being able to offer something like a life coach to your child to help with that is incredible. Like, I love where the world is going, because the children literally are the future of our world. And I think we can all agree that what we've been doing in the world hasn't quite been working as well as it could be. And I honestly believe like that's why I love working with millennials and people our age, because we have all the ideas. We have everything that we need to make this world freaking epic. Like, it is going to change so much in the next few years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It's going to be a completely different world. Like, it's going to be insane. So I'm like so excited that you're like looking at doing this with children. So maybe like if you could give one piece of advice to a mom, to a dad, to a parent that doesn't really know what to do. They don't know what to do. And they could see like a value in investing in a coach like you to be able to help with their kids. Because I think sometimes it's like releasing that control, right? And a lot of people don't understand that life coaching is not instilling our beliefs on a child or instilling our beliefs on other people. It's about asking questions to find out what that innate belief system is within that child, within that person, because we are learning from children. They teach us so much. They are implanted with everything that they need coming into this lifetime. And then because we start instilling our beliefs on them, that's what messes it up. So now our generation is in this process of having to uncondition ourselves to recondition and tap back into that intuitive self. Whereas when you can really tap into the children, they haven't unlearned how to be intuitive yet. Kids just do what they want to do because they want to do them, right? They already know, they just don't have the communication skills yet. I actually just went to an astrologer yesterday, and like when he like gave me the timeline, it was like from when I was 1 to 8, it was like an incredibly like epic time for me where I had so many ideas and all of these things. And my mom would always say like, you were such a busy child. Like, you were always doing things. You were in the dishwasher, you were doing this. And it's because in that time, I just didn't have the actual thing to take it from the inside to the outside yet, because I was too young, because I didn't understand how to do it. So being able to help kids tap into this creative genius that they have already from that age, like, whoa, imagine where the world could go.
Absolutely. So there's so many kids out there that are using, like you said, their zone of genius. And it's because they have the parents, they have the people in their lives that are like, you know what, I see this greatness in you. How can I expand that?
Yeah.
And oh, why am I forgetting her name? There's this 13-year-old girl, I think her name's Hana Lee, and she lives in Bali, and she has this fashion line. She is a multi-millionaire at 13 years old because she just went for it, and her mom supported her. And there's just, like you said, children learn through their interests. They learn through what excites them. So if you have a child that is interested in taking things apart, in, you know, quote unquote, being destructive, they could be like remodeling something, reinventing something, you know? And some people are like, oh, like, don't do that. You're not supposed to be taking things apart. But you're really taking that away from what they're actually trying to do, just because you said they don't have the communication skills to be like, oh, but no, but this is what I'm trying to do. If I put this here, then it can become this. And some parents, they don't see that within their kids because all they see is the surface. They don't see that, you know, by a child playing in mud and dirt, that they're actually experiencing so much in their brains, that kids have such a clear imagination that hasn't been clouded by society, that if we just allow them to be themselves in all aspects and support them, but love on them, if there is, I don't even like the word discipline, but life lessons to be learned, and showing them that, you know, it's okay to challenge me as an adult, I think that the world would be such a different place. I really, truly do. Because we're told so often no. That word no instills so much into us. It instills fear. It instills judgment. It instills, you know, just don't do this. It's not okay. And when parents understand that that word can be changed in so many different ways, maybe I don't like what you're doing because, give them that explanation. Because if you just say no, a child's like, but why? Why? And then they just constantly ask you, right? It's like, well, because I said so. What is that giving a child? What is that really giving them, right? Even as an adult, if somebody tells me no and you say, but why? And somebody goes, because I said so, you're going to be like, I don't care if you said so, I'm going to do it anyway, right? So all you're doing is, as the child's growing up, like I can say from my own personal experience, I was told no so often that I became the rebellious, drug-using, you know, guy-obsessed teenager that I was, because I became rebellious because my parents kept telling me not to do things. That I was like, okay, well, when I'm old enough and I can do it, I'm going to do even worse. Yeah. And I think that just when a parent knows that it doesn't always have to be no. It's going to change so much for so many kids. Yeah. And like, I love how you said sharing the reason why, because a lot of the times people believe that kids don't understand. Right. But they have the understanding. It's just the communication yet. And we're even still learning communication, right? Like I always laugh when people know like a whole bunch of different like languages. Cause I'm like, I'm still learning English. Like, how are you learning like all of these different languages? I'm like, I'm like 29 and I haven't even mastered the English language yet. But like, kids understand. It's just the communication of actually getting it out, that throat chakra. If like literally if the world could take all of their inspiration from within and really project it with their throat chakra out to the world, that's where a lot of this change is going to happen. So I absolutely love everything that you are about, Leanna. I love your energy. I love your passion. I'm so excited to see where all of this takes you. You're going to help change so many kids' lives. You're going to help change the world. And that's really what this is all about. It's about stepping into our zone of genius. It's about following that intuitive nature, really standing out, showing the world what we have to offer so that we can help shift the consciousness of the planet into a better state for all of us to live in and then thrive in. So I just want to thank you so much for coming on here today, Leanna. You're honestly such a beautiful gift in my life and here for the planet. One last thing before we go, one last question for you. Yeah. You could give one piece of advice to somebody listening to this episode right now today. What would your piece of advice be? I'm going to say the one that's been my most recent is to listen to your heart in all areas of your life. If your heart is telling you to go for something, don't let that voice in your head stop you, because I learned this from you. It's just there to protect you. It's just there because it doesn't know better. Listen to your heart, because your heart is it's so right in all areas of your life. That could be a relationship, that could be a business, that could be your kids. It can be anything. And for me, the more that I listen to this beautiful beating, treasure that I have, oh my goodness, my life has just completely changed. Wow. You're such a beautiful soul, Leanna. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being on here. You want to share what your Instagram handle is so that people can find you, follow you? If you guys have any parents with kids, feel free to tap them into Leanna. And to go back to what you said about the heart and like feeling like you can't like
actually like do the things that are on your heart. If you ever doubt yourself, reach out to either one of us.
Absolutely.
Reach out. Literally one message could change the rest of your life, because having people believe in you is massive. And we believe in you before you start believing in yourself, and then you start believing it, and that's what happens. That's its ripple effect. So what else was I just saying?
The Instagram handle.
Yes. Please share your Instagram handle, Leanna, and how people can get a hold of you.
So it's Harmony Coach XO. And if I just share a little bit about Harmony. So for me, as you know, I am part of network marketing. I decided to call my team Team Harmony because I believe that everything in life is harmonious. I've heard the word balance so much, and balance always has an up and a down. Why does it always have to have an up and down? Why can't we just live like this? Like, oh, it's everything in life is harmony. If you can live in harmony within yourself, with others, with food, with exercise, with everything, and be okay where you are, it's just, that's what's going to make the difference in every aspect. So just wanted to share a little bit about why I chose the word harmony. And
that's perfect. I love that, because I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Laura, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on here, and just thank you for being on this earth, because you have been a massive part in my journey, and a massive person who has always believed in me and pushed me. And just like you said, you need to have those people to believe in you before you believe in yourself.
Well, thank you so much. And that's the most incredible thing about it, is that we can all believe in each other and raise each other up as a collective. So thank you again for being on here with me today, Leanna. I love you so much. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.